So, good morning and welcome to this webinar where we're going to talk about designing a turnaround using Novapoint Road mostly. My name is Jonas Wenner and I work for Trimble here in Sweden, and I'm going to talk to you and show how we're going to do this. A turnaround, a turning point for all kinds of vehicles. We have some kind of examples here for example, from the Swedish requirements for a dust truck to turn around. We have an airfield, for example, or a timber truck turning area and so on. So no matter the scale of the turnaround, it looks the same where it is. So I'm just going to show you how to use a kind of a method in doing this in Novapoint. And there are some things worth thinking about when you use Novapoint Road. The road model is always calculated perpendicular to the reference alignment, as you know. There will be no model calculated at the end of the turning area, at the end of the road. And it will also mean that the ditches, they will be too narrow in the inner curves in the model. And those things, you see, there are the examples of this one, that we have no end slopes, and we have some strange looking ditches. And you could ask yourself, of course, in some projects this is totally okay, but in other projects we want to produce a totally constructible model, and then we have to do some more work to make the model just as good as it could be. And the key to this is that we, instead of creating one model, we create two models instead. So we're going to put in some boundaries in the model, and we then will create an alignment on the outer limit of the pavement. And we're going to create a separate model for the side area of this turning area. And together these two will be a complete model of this turning area. And this is a method that you could use, similar techniques like I will show you now, you could use when you are producing intersections, roundabouts, ramps, and all that stuff of different things when you are suffering from this perpendicular calculating method inside Novapoint Road. You could use this way to create the model. So I will show you this now. I will do this temporary widening of the main road, what I call a help surface. Then I will set the vertical geometry on the edge line and place that on top of the road surface, and then create a model. So I'm going to switch over now to Novapoint and to AutoCAD to just show you how this is done, really. If we first take a look inside Novapoint here, I have one road model that I call Road 1 with the center line CL1 here. And I've already done to this model, I have created two edge lines. So this left lane on the model, I will put a boundary on that one, that we will go up to this. And on the right side, I have also put a boundary out on this alignment there. I have also put in a boundary from station 53 point something outside lane 2 on the left side, and the same on the right side, to give room for this side area model, so to speak. And if we go into AutoCAD, I have drawn those alignments just to a CAD drawing here. I have also created an alignment around the turnaround here, this one. And what I will do now is that I will go back into the main model of this one, remove these these borders and just add an extra surface on the outside here. This is about 1 meter wide or so. So I go into the road 1. I will just add this. I will use that station. I just add one more carriageway here. I take the that we call surface 4, for example. I will add that between 53.659 until the end of the model, like this. And I will just make it 1 meter wide. I could do it from 53. And then we just put this on the, and we have a slope here that is 2.5% minus. So I will just inherit that one. And I will copy this to the other side. So, and there you see that we also have minus 0.25. I will do that as well. Then I'm just gonna remove or change this boundary to take that outside lane 4 instead, that side. And I will do it the same way on the right side. Lane 4 and lane 4. And then there is one more thing we got to do. If we look in AutoCAD, I have done this center line a little bit too far here. And that is because that I want to make this model a little bit longer as well as it is. So I just go back in here and just calculate this model at the full length instead. Okay, I will press finish and just recalculate the main road model. So there we have now some kind of extra surfaces built out here. We don't have to worry so much about these things that are just errors in the software right now, because I have this alignment out here. So what we're going to do now is that I will place this turnaround edge on this line and use the road model as illustration object. So if I go into this one turnaround edge alignment task here, edit that and look at what kind of illustration objects I use here. I have used the road 1, and I also used the CL one. And I've also just chosen to use this linear element, the center line, and only the upper surface of this one. So I remove all objects that are pavement layers or the road bed and all the brake lines, for example, in the road model, because that will only disturb my view when I look in the vertical alignment then. So just press finish there and go back into AutoCAD. And I'm going to create an alignment here. And as the true TV cook I am, I have of course made some preparations. So I just open this turnaround edge here and have an alignment design there. I will also create, of course, a vertical alignment on this one, a vertical design. So I go into the horizontal vertical here, open that one. So then we could see our center line here. We have that there. And we also could see our small parts of this help surface here. So we just have to connect those now with the polyline. So I create the polyline here, and here it's flat until we come to this part where the road is turning. And then we have to find some tangent points here. I'm not making this really exact here, but you have to hit the line in some places, and we hit there. Then we go to that point. Then we go down to that point here. And we're gonna follow this one. Then we're just gonna follow it to the end or to that point here. We could take some more points on it there, and then follow this arc up here until we meet the next one. So the trick here is to create a surface on the outside of this one, so you could place just a vertical alignment on top of that. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to pick the vertical here. Now we're going to have a lot of elements in it, but that's no problem really. I also going to stretch this one a little bit here. Or yeah, no, I don't have to do that. I think I could just use it as it is. I press OK Draw here, like that. Then I could go back in here, and I could take this turnaround edge and place that on top here, and just check in the graphic that it looks okay. It's on top there. So I go back into Road 1 model again, edit that one in the road surfaces, and just check. Change the boundary here from 0,4 or lane 4 to lane 2. Make the same on the other side. So, and I also go in here and take a look at that one and change that to 93.853 instead. There we go, and press finish again. So now we have just cut our road model here. See? I also have to, I have to remove that road surface again. I was cheating a bit. I was making this little bit. You see, I have 53 here, so I could just remove this one instead. Remove this lane 4. And I just recalculate it again. So, then we are ready, almost ready anyway. I have this turnaround model. I could just take a look at it if I want. I have called it. I have already connected that to this center line, and I have also created a similar template as I have here with the same slopes and the same pavement thickness and all that stuff. And I could, if I want, add the road model here, Road 1, as an illustrational object if I want. And I could just recalculate this one, the turnaround model. We can take a look at that one as well in 3D here. Let's see what happened now. So there we are, and I see that I cheated a little bit with the vertical design there. So I think I will go back in here and stretch this one a little bit in the start and then at the end. So we go to the alignment design. And the vertical design here, let's see. I just change the scale here, and that's a tip when you think that it's hard to see things in the vertical design. It's quite smart to just change the scale, and then it's much easier to stretch in the vertical alignment. That is that I haven't for real start in the right place here, I think. So I have to turn this one, stretch, and use the turn drag function. So, and then use the trim start and end again. Press OK, draw once more. And then hopefully we will be rid of this this figure with all the decimals there, so I just have to recalculate my side area model here. So there we go, it looks a little bit better now, I think. And we could take a look at this this side area model a little bit more here. So because I have, if we look at the cross section for it here, we now see this. If we go we see that it is connected to the other model. So we will have to get, for example, the volumes for this one. We need to extract the report for both those two. I have also put in if we look in the road surface, we have this minus 2.5 slope on both, and we have minus 2.5 on this one as well, which means that we will have a slope on this gravel shoulder that is 2.5% around all the turning area here. I could just remove some things here as well. Let's do like this, so it will be a little bit more clear to see here. But the key to this one is that when you should do a turnaround like this, it's good that you have the center line a little bit too far here than what it really should be, and that you use this help surface technique. That you are first, you could do this, the road or the surface that are supposed to drive on. You do that first, and then you make some boundaries on it. So you're going to create that surface as you need it first. Then you could just add some extra surfaces outside temporarily and just have a wide width of them just to create a surface. And then you just glue this alignment on that help surface to get the correct vertical design on it. So that is the key, and that's a technique that you could use in a lot of modeling situations. For example, intersections, roundabouts, or other things, widenings and so on. So that is, I think, what I wanted to show you now, but we could just take a little more look at how we could extract, for example, stakeout data for this one, or how we could extract volumes, for example. And for a start, we have this new tool in Novapoint that is from Novapoint 21. If I choose both road models here, right-click on them and take view in table, we could get a very fast look at what we got here. We have it splitted in this table on road 1 and turnaround model. And we could take, for example, the cut. We have this volume there, and we have the cut for the turnaround model here, for example. We could also, of course, create a table view of it instead, where we could tailor what we want to see. So I call this just road volumes. I could use also template if I want. I could use that one. road design quantity summary. I choose which models I want to create a report about and choose those two. Press close there. I could also customize it some ways if I want. I could tell that I want this as a summary. I could also say that I want to group it on the tasks. So if I want to split the volumes, now I don't want it. I want the total volumes for this one, for example. And I could also change something what I want from this. But in this case, it's only the cut volume I'm really interested in, really. So I just press save here and press finish. And then we have this cut. I see that I have it in ordinary soil here, for example, and that's the only thing that I have cut in here. But the total volume is 508 cubic meters then for this entire model, so to speak. Also, if I want to extract a land XML file, for example, for the roadbed of this, I could use the new function in Novapoint 21 on output. Choose this export to file. I could call that roadbed total. I call that one. I select my both road models, and then I go into the features and only there. I only choose the roadbed of the road. I could also, of course, let's see if I could lighten up everything here. So I just choose that one, press close, and choose the format land XML. And then I choose this default terrain data. I could choose that one. I could also choose that if I want. I could take that instead here. I just press OK and press finish and save the file to some good, nice location there. And the last thing I want to show you is that we could also now look at the volumes on this one. We have this new viewing style here that we call corridor solid. So I have from both models now all the volumes shown as solids in this one. And if I want, I could remove all the superstructure of the road. I could also take a look. Yeah, now this is not so fun because I only have soil cut here, but yeah, but all the soil cuts, they are divided into what is connected to the side area and to the main road, and all these solids they got a volume, of course. So you could just pick them from the screen as well as from the table. But just to make a fast repeat of this, the thing is when you do things like this, for example, turnarounds, you have to remember that the road model is always calculated perpendicular to the reference line, and that is something that you have to handle when you work with it. So in this case, you have to create an edge line here, an edge alignment, and use that as the reference in a new road model. And that road model, if we go back to Novapoint here again, that road model is then has a boundary on the inside here, so we only use, in this case, the left side of the road model for the modeling. So that was what I wanted to show you today. So I just thank you for your time, and if you have any questions or something about this, you could send an email at jonas_vänner@trimble.com.